So the scene starts with Mark and Conquest tussling. For some reason, Mark decides to look away and gets spread wide open, headbutted, and slammed right to the ground. For some reason, they wanted to add this big dramatic explosion like we know Mark weighs 125. He's not fooling nobody. So the scene flips back to Mark and we find out he's been put in this Diddy position by Conquest, and he know Mark was uncomfortable with this. Conquest really got the wrong person. He is not Eve. Get off of Mark. So then Conquest starts yapping to Mark, and Mark must have got tired of this because he hit him with the nastiest left hook of all time. Mark fades back into scene while Conquest talking about some, yeah, that was light. I ate that. Is that all you got? You already know that boy Mark said, nah. So then Mark sends Conquest crashing through multiple buildings, just for us to find out that did absolutely nothing to Conquest. You can't explain the anger I would feel if I was Mark right now. You telling me I did all that just for this kid to stand up and hit the Trump pose? I ain't gonna lie, Mark, it's time to hang up the boots. So then Conquest stands up, lifts this man up by his wrist, and then grabs him by his neck. So then Mark hits him on his arm, slaps his head, and kicks him away. Mark catches Conquest with the left hook, hits him with the right, then another right. Then Mark sends Conquest flying, chin up and everything. This is crazy. Got him taking the best sleep of his life. Now they going through the atmosphere. Mark spins back, builds up momentum, and hits Conquest with the dirtiest right hook I've ever seen. So these two start staring at each other and Conquest is just smiling. He's just standing there, menacingly. Conquest spears Mark back down to earth, and now Mark hits Conquest with the knee to get him off him. I know that knee hurt. Conquest is in pain right now. Somebody help him. Conquest regains some balance and he starts telling Mark that this is light work. Before Mark can even realize it, he gets hit square in his jaw. Mark gets sent down crashing on live television. You see, me personally, I'm not letting that slide.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
At this point, Mark's laying in the dirt, hoping that Conquest thinks he's dead. That boy is so startled that he sees Conquest coming and blocks everything but his face. Conquest comes in and drops an atomic bomb on Mark. So then the cameraman pans over to Oliver. Oliver is watching his brother get sent 400 feet into the air. Mark starts looking around like, where's Conquest? That boy Conquest is zooming. Mark gets hit and Oliver starts rushing into the scene. Mark gets sent through multiple buildings just like he did Conquest. He got hit so hard at creating an entire impact frame. That boy got smacked by that truck. Mark is struggling to get up, laying there defeated while Conquest is coming back for more. That boy Mark is begging. He puts his hand up like that's gonna stop anything.
Listen to me.
Mark tries to get Conquest to hear him out. Conquest is not trying to hear none of that. Conquest slams Mark straight down onto the ground. And I ain't gonna lie, this is it. If I was Mark, I'm retiring after this. Conquest sees innocent civilians and immediately gets to smiling. Before Conquest can do anything, Oliver hits him with the smoothest uppercut I've ever seen. They really over here got Oliver feeling himself. Got that boy feeling tough. Comes in the scene and gets to aura farming. So then Oliver charges at Conquest and Conquest shuts that shit down. The boy Conquest is disgusted he even tried it. Got him looking at Oliver like he's straight trash. Before things get too disrespectful, Mark intervenes with a kick to Conquest's jaw. He really had that boy hitting the Yamcha. Mark tells Oliver to get out of here before he get hurt. That boy Mark did not have enough awareness, because he just got speared into next week. Conquest rubs Mark in the dirt and then throws him onto some random's car. At this point, this is like Marvel and YC because somebody was just paying for that car note. It'd be like when those superheroes stole a car and then they miss. Like, what was the point? Mark his Conquest with a headbutt. Had that boy leaning. Had that boy proposing on one knee. He grabs Conquest on the shirt and starts spamming square. Mark throws his last punch and Conquest catches it. Eve wakes up from her slumber and immediately starts asking for Mark. She sees the news on the TV and wastes absolutely zero time. She got to suiting up quick to go save Mark. So then the camera moves back to Mark, who throws a punch, gets it caught, and gets absolutely swung. He had his mouth wide open. Conquest starts dragging Mark through these buildings, and I'm trying to figure out who is this guy right here. I don't know who he is, but I know he was having a bad day. Anyways, Conquest slams Mark on his head top, right onto the concrete. Mark got 16 different skull fractures and 7 different concussions. He proceeds to pick Mark up like he's trash and starts yapping in his face. He like them rappers who no one wants to hear, like get him out the studio. Conquest speed blitzes Mark, slaps him out of the way, and immediately gets on Oliver, punches him into 2 different buildings. Oliver had all 32 teeth knocked out that very instant. Hey, but at least he already got his wisdom teeth extracted. Invincible wakes up and sees Conquest spreading Oliver like he's SpongeBob. Mark takes off and spears Conquest right in his side. Starts hugging Conquest by his waist. This how them broke boys be hugging their girls.
Faster than I thought. No matter.
Conquest takes Mark off him, and when Mark closed his eyes, he didn't even want to see what was about to happen.
Instead,
Conquest hits Mark with a punch that breaks all the glass around him. But then Mark hit Conquest with a smooth left. Eve tried to defend herself against Conquest, but Conquest breaks out of that real easy. Conquest is tired of playing around, hits Eve with the right hook, and then proceeds to send his hand through her abdomen. Conquest sent Eve straight to sleep.
You're weird.
Good night. Mark catches Eve, who was free falling in the air, and tells her to look away from the light. Obviously, she looks right to it, and she passes. Mark gets heated, starts clenching his fist, and this is when the animators locked in. Oh my days. I know they had those animators working overtime. Mark hits Conquest with the left hook, unsuspectingly too. Then he doubles back with the right kick straight to Conquest's jaw. Conquest weaves the left hook and starts to grab on Mark. He sees Mark getting pieced and decides to lock in. He used to be doing anything for the Huz, I swear. Mark over here getting force choked on the ground. Hand around the neck and everything. That's so crazy.
point. Not a single person in the entire universe would care. Take it to your grave.
Mark getting the life choked out of him when Conquest turns around and sees Eve glowing. Conquest gets hit with the beam and starts tweaking.
Jerk.
That's when Eve passes out and Mark starts rushing to her rescue. It's not really rushing, bro's crawling. Then Conquest gets up behind him, and we see that all of the skin has been melted off his back. It's straight muscles, no skin. Mark rushes in and hits Conquest with the left hook, gets him back on the ground, and starts spamming the same left hook until he gets it caught.
More than enough fight left in me for you, boy.
Mark gets his fingers crushed, and he starts howling like a wolf.
More than enough. Not enough. Not nearly.
Mark realizes he can't use any of his hands, and he starts spamming the headbutts.